Yo, what is going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to talk about why life will always be a grind, right? So listen, when you're working towards becoming better in whatever regard, just know that whatever practice you're doing, whether it's working out or meditation or you're approaching girls or you're practicing an instrument or you're doing something, it's always going to be a grind. And here's the thing. A lot of the times, like, it gets boring. It gets boring. And two things you have to realize that are very important is that it gets boring and it gets lonely, right? So not only is it kind of mundane, like it's a grind, it's like you're not like going through the motions, but you're doing pretty much like similar things on a day-to-day basis. You really have to embrace the boredom and the loneliness, right? Because even if you're not doing something, or even if you're like working and you're working out and you're whatever, you're improving in any regard for anything, it's gonna get boring because you're repeating the same pattern every day, day in and day out, for multiple hours, right? Like for me, you know, whatever I do at work, I'm doing pretty much the same tasks every day. When I'm at the gym, I'm doing pretty much the same workouts, right? For the most part. You know, I may switch up a couple movements here and there, but for the most part, it's the same, you know, push, pull, leg, push, pull, leg, push, pull, leg, cardio, abs, push, pull, leg, cardio, abs, push, pull, leg, cardio, abs, right? Diet too. It's like you're eating the same food every day. Or if you're like practicing meditation, you're just sitting there and you're repeating mantras, or you're doing breath work, or you're doing something. But the point is that it's going to be boring. But you have to understand that it's okay if it's boring, as long as you do it. Because here's the thing. If you don't do it, you're going to be bored anyway, right? Like if you don't go to work every day and you don't go to the gym, or you don't write your book or play your instrument or do whatever, you're still going to be bored, because if you wake up and you don't do anything, you're just going to be looking around like, what can I do? What can I do? What can I do? Your mind's just going to be constantly thinking about, what can I do? What can I do? What is there to do? I'm bored. I want to do something, right? So it's a grind. Like every day is a grind, but you have to show up. You must show up every day, regardless of like how you feel, pretty much. You know, I'm on pretty much like 5 to 6 hours of sleep. I worked 10 hours today. I just went to the gym and I'm recording. I'm making videos. I was contemplating not making videos, but I don't really care anymore. I don't care how I feel. I understand that my emotions are fleeting, and whatever has to get done has to get done, right? I have to offer value. I have a inclination and I have a calling to deliver powerful messages to help people, to help you guys, right? And here's the thing. If I don't put in the work, if I just sit here and ramble and talk shit, but I'm not really at the gym like that, or I'm not putting in overtime at work like that, or I'm not, consistent with whatever I'm doing, then I'm not really helping. I'm not helping you guys because I'm not backing it up. But anyways, aside from that, you have to embrace the boredom and the loneliness. I just touched upon the boredom, but let's get to the loneliness. So when you do the same things every day, right? Typically, like, it's actually, I forget like what study it was, but there was a study that found like that most successful people actually have like less friends than unsuccessful people. So when you're working all the time, when you're grinding, when you're in the gym, when you're at work, when you're writing a book, when you're filming a podcast, when you're consulting with people, playing an instrument, recording music, practicing basketball, it gets lonely because it's just you and the work. It's just you and whatever you're doing. But what else is there to do, guys? Right? So, men typically understand that we need to provide value, right? And we only raise our value and achieve success if we put in consistent work every day. Women, on the other hand, kind of are the ones who need like spontaneity, like, hey, let's go for a trip. Hey, let's go to the club. Hey, let's go to this restaurant. Personally, I don't really care, right? Sure, I'll go once in a while, but I don't really care. Like, my mom wants me to come over Sunday for like her birthday. And it's like, man, I'd rather like work. I'd rather go to work. Not saying I don't like my mom, but it's like, I'm more focused on like success, work, becoming better, etc. It's like those things don't interest me. And everything in life gets mundane and boring to a certain point. Like once you've experienced so many things in life, there's not much room for spontaneity. Now there is some, of course, like you can change up certain things, but in most situations, you're just repeating the same patterns, right? And you're getting better at them. Like when I'm recording these videos, hopefully, after weeks and months and years of me speaking to the camera, hopefully I come off as more articulate and better, and I have a better way of communicating, right? As opposed to me just uploading once a day, or like once a week, right? I'm not really developing my ability to communicate in an articulate way, right? So, or the gym, for example, right? Every back day, I'm going up in weight, right? Because I'm there consistently. So the point I'm trying to make here is I'm kind of combining a bunch of different aspects of like what the grind entails, but you have to realize that it's going to be boring, it's going to be lonely, and you just have to do it anyway, right? If you feel bored, if you feel lonely or whatever, or you feel sad, or you're thinking about the past and how whatever, some girl broke your heart or something happened, you can't let that affect you. You can't let that kill you and put you in a slump, put you down a dark hole. You can't let it affect you. You have to use it as motivation, right? If you gotta sit there and you gotta go on Instagram and look at a girl just to make you feel angry in some way, go ahead and do that. But don't let that emotion deter you. Let that emotion make you angry. And in that anger, you take action, right? You take action. So when you feel that loneliness, or you feel that sadness, or you feel that like hollowness, or that boredom, or that anxiety, whatever you're feeling, use it to motivate you to take action. It's said that depression is actually like has a survival advantage, and because depression is signaling you to not do the behaviors that made you depressed. So when you're depressed, that's a sign your body or your mind is telling you, hey, let's go do something because we don't want to feel like this again, right? So use all of that anxiety, depression, anger, hatred, whatever, to take action, right? Don't let it spiral you down into stupid addictions or being lazy, right? Because you can use it for good, or you can let it kill you. You can let your emotions spark the wanting to take action, or it can cause you to become depressed, lazy, addictive, whatever. So, and it never ends, guys. Like, working every day never ends. You got to think about it too. Like, even if you become like financially free and you don't have to work a job or whatever, if your money's on point and you're like a millionaire or whatever, and you decide to start like practicing meditation or whatever, you still have to sit there for hours, sometimes multiple hours a day, and watch your breath, right? Because if you don't meditate day in and day out, you're not going to reach those heightened states of awareness, right? So even if you get to a certain financial point in your life or a physical point in your life where you're looking good, your money's on point, it doesn't matter. You still have to work even to like continue to maintain that to some degree or increase it if you like. So I think a lot of like boys in our society have to realize that there's no escaping work. If you're a human being on this planet, the only three organisms that can maybe get exemptions from work are women, children, and animals, right? Because a woman, for example, can marry a man who works to provide for the family, right? So she doesn't really have to be out there grinding like that. She can do things around the house, but it's not the same as a man who's working 12 hours a day as like a construction worker or something, right? Same thing with like little kids, right? They don't have to work, right? Until they get to a certain age, obviously. Animals, they're loved unconditionally. They're there and they're cute, whatever. They don't have to really perform. So I feel like an initiation into manhood is realizing that there's no escaping work and there's no going back. There's no going back to childhood. There's no going back to just playing around. Even in Stephen Arniel's book, Hard Times Create Strong Men, I recommend everybody read that. He says that play is reserved for women and children. Work is designed for men, right? So knowing that, understanding that, you have to apply that understanding into your own mental framework and move forward with that mental framework. So understand that every day is a grind. It's going to be boring. It's going to be lonely, but nobody cares. No one's coming to save you, right? You have to just do the freaking work. You have to just go to work. You have to just record your videos. You have to just write your book, play your instrument. You have to just go to the gym, lift weights. You have to take action. So I kind of think that sums up this video. I hope you guys understand what I'm talking about, and I hope it helps you. But yeah, that's it, guys. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe and click the notification bell. If you have any questions, comments, whatever, feel free to leave them down below. And as always, I hope you guys have a good one. Peace.